Hiya, and thank you so much for taking the time to actually watch my video. This video is going to be all about the subject of anger and about what I try and do to obviously try and control myself when obviously I'm feeling, if you like, anxious or angry about something. First of all, we need to realise that anger is something which we can control. Yeah, anger is something which comes from within us, and it's something which when we are angry, we're basically allowing ourselves to lose control. So it's something which we really need to try and address if we're to have a happy life. Because you need to understand that your anger, it doesn't only affect your health, it also affects everybody that's around you, everybody that's in your environment. So if you're getting up angry, if you're moaning, if you're anxious or angry about a subject, people around you will sense that, and it can have obviously negative effects. You need to realise that the first effect it'll have is that it will start making these people perhaps they obviously being argumentative, they might start pulling holes in you because of how you're speaking to them. And the other thing which people don't realise when you're this sort of person is that obviously most people don't want to be around people like that. They want to be around people that are obviously loving, happy, and obviously full of joy, if you like. Now, I know it's not always easy to be this way, but I'm going to talk about some of the things that I do to try and, if you like, lessen the periods of being like this. There's loads of things in your life that can cause you anger. Yeah, things that happen within your family, things that happen in your job, whatever it might be. But we need to realise that we need to perhaps step back from the situation, and before we actually start going into one and start actually screaming and shouting and waving our arms, you need to realise that basically this ain't doing you no good. Yeah, I've had stages in my life where I've been annoyed with things, and you basically lose control, and it ain't the way to be, because when you're in this anger state, you're not thinking logically. You're not thinking about obviously the harm you could cause to people. You're not thinking about how it's affecting your relationship. It's having a completely negative effect, and it's something which we need to really start paying more attention to. What I do now is I'm going to talk about some of the things I do. One of the things I try and do now is I try and avoid situations where I'm going to get into discussions on subjects which I know are going to end in disagreements. Me and my daughter, I love her dearly, but sometimes we get into talks, we start talking about things, and like we argue like a cat and dog. And my wife said to me, because my wife, sometimes I wonder whether she should be doing these videos. She says to me, look, you know, you both got your opinion on that subject. You're both never going to agree. So stop talking about it. Stop having this discussion. Yeah, and I think this is one of the first things we've got to do if we are to, if you like, become more in control of our situation. Because when you're arguing with these people, like me and my daughter, sometimes it causes a rift. We both love each other. She knows I love her dearly, but it causes a rift. It causes like a barrier. And sometimes she's even said to me, Dad, I don't want to talk about it. Why are we talking about this? And I'm trying to learn now to hold back and not, if you like, get in big heated discussions with her over anything, because it's only going to end in heartache. So there ain't no special remedy to obviously become less angry. It's just a case of, I think, just avoiding certain situations. Yeah, avoiding certain situations, and then also, before you get involved with something, think to yourself. And this is what I do now, because I'm big into personal development, and I've watched other videos about anger management, and you have to start thinking about what would the perfect you do. Yeah, if you're like me and you're trying to do better, you're trying to, if you like, achieve more. What would, imagine imagine you fast forward your life to 10 years time, and you was this almost perfect person. What would that person actually do when put into a certain situation? Would they fly off the handle? Would they walk away? Would they turn around and say, look, let's not talk about this, yeah, we're not going to agree, and then do something which you enjoy together? Because this is what we need to start doing, yeah, especially if it's somebody in your family, yeah, and obviously if it's causing like problems, within your family home, yeah, because obviously it causes heartache, and what a crazy position, if you like, to be in. Now, for me, that's what I'm doing now. Whenever I get into situations where, we're talking about a subject, and I can, if you like, fast forward it in my mind, I just turn around and say, Bub, let's not talk about this. Yeah, we're not going to agree. Let's just, put the telly on. Put on put on one of the programs that you want to watch, and Daddy will watch it with you. And it always ends out. It always ends well when we do that. Yeah, we've got one life. My wife says to me, I know I've just said this, but sometimes I wonder whether my wife should do videos on personal development, because she is almost she sees the good in everyone. She sees the good in me, even when sometimes I don't. And she does. She's just a lovely person. And I think if everyone could be like my wife, I do honestly think the world would be a better place, because she sees the good in everyone, and she does. She says to me, let's not talk about this. Let's not get involved in this. Yeah, because we're wasting our time. If you're arguing and you're being angry, you're wasting your life. Yeah, because we do. We only get one life, and I'm 51 now, and I cherish every day. Yeah, I try and do something positive every day now, and this is important. So, I hope you didn't click on this video hoping that there was any, like, if you like, secret sauce, any secret method to overcome anger. I honestly believe it's just saying to yourself, what would you do? What would the perfect you do? How would you handle this situation? Yeah? How would somebody of a higher intellect handle this situation? Because if you're just throwing your arms about and you're screaming and shouting and you're roaring with each other, you ain't going to get anywhere, because the person as well that's shouting and roaring back at you, she's not listening to what you're saying anyway. She's too busy shouting at you. So you don't, honestly, being angry, getting involved in these conversations, especially if it's with people that you love, you ain't going to get anywhere. You need to, if you are going to talk, and obviously have a discussion about something which is important, especially if you're a parent and you think it's important for your children, however old they might be, you need to listen. Yeah, you need to let them have their say. Don't do what I used to do. And I still do it sometimes. I still jump in, and then my daughter will say to me, "You're not listening, Dad." Yeah, no one's perfect. No one expects you to be perfect. But we do have to try and listen, and most of all, we have to control ourselves, and we have to just realise that this basically losing control, it's not doing you any good either. Yeah. Think back to the last argument that you had. It might have been you had a disagreement with your wife, somebody at work, somebody in your family, like your children. Think back after the argument was over. How did that make you feel? Did you feel better for having that screaming and a shouting? Did that make you feel good? Or after it, was you actually slightly nervous, slightly anxious, slightly even more angry? Because I don't think I've ever had an argument where I've actually come out winning. Yeah, because it's damaging your body. My father-in-law, if ever you met my father-in-law, he's a very, very quiet, very placid man, and he in some ways he's perfect, because he said to me, years ago when we used to have like little talks and that, he said to me once, he said, you don't get anything out of being that way. I think he knew I was a bit highly strung. I think he knew that sometimes I could obviously, go really, really fly off. And he said to me, it don't make you feel good. He actually said to me, you're harming yourself. It was one of the things that I really remembered uh, um, talking to him about, and realising that what he was saying was actually right. And I think in some ways, it it made me that's a word, it made me a bit frustrated with him. When I first met my mother and father-in-law, he frustrated me because he was so laid back. But in hindsight, as I've got older and I've got wiser, and I've obviously seen how he handles situations differently to me, I've realised that he was the right one, because being allowing yourself to get out of control, allowing yourself to get angry, allowing yourself to be this way only harms you. Yeah. And he said to me, it's what can happen as a result of your anger. You could go out and do something when you're angry which afterwards you totally regret. You know what I mean? You could totally, yeah, it could totally ruin your life. You could get into a bar fight or get involved with someone and you end up hitting them, and next thing you know, you're on a manslaughter charge. It's happened to people where they've allowed their anger to get out of control. Yeah, so when I look back to when I first met my father-in-law, and I was a little bit, if you like, frustrated by him, it wasn't really that I was frustrated with him, it was that I was envious of him. Yeah, I wanted to be laid back like that. I wanted to be someone that could just let things go over my head, because you definitely are healthier for it. If you're allowing yourself to lose control, and you're allowing yourself to get into situations which you know could end badly, then what a detrimental effect you'll be having on your life. Yeah, because this is only going to cause you harm. So the next time that you feel yourself getting, that you're heading this way, go for a walk. Walk out the door. Just say, I'm just going to go for a little walk. Go and calm yourself down. Yeah, and then when you come back home, put something funny on. Yeah, put something funny on. Yeah, I've spoken about my father-in-law. I'm going to talk about my dad now. Now, my dad, he was quite an angry man. He could really lose his rag, my dad. But he was still a lovely dad. He was still a great man. And one thing I remember him saying that if you like, made me think about what he said, and that was, Colin, he said, spend your life, be as happy and as joyful as you can. Yeah, basically try and be good. He never said to me try and be perfect, but he said try and do good. Don't let yourself do anybody any harm. He said, and when you're feeling a little bit like anxious, or if you're feeling a little bit down, he said put something funny on. I can remember him. He used to sit and not make me watch, but he used to say to me, come on, we'll put Normal Wisdom on. We used to sit and watch Normal Wisdom, and we would laugh and laugh and laugh. And guess what? When you're laughing, you ain't got time to be angry. Yeah, your mind and your heart is full of joy, and all this anger goes out the window. You're only angry if you're allowing yourself to be that way. Yeah, don't give yourself the time to be angry. Think every day is going to be a great day. Yeah, and if you do get involved in little discussions, like I say, with your children or with anybody, just think, do you know what? I don't want it to be like this. I don't want it to be this way. Yeah, me and my daughter, we've had rows, and after the row, she's cuddled me and we've made up. And I've said to her, I've actually said to her, and she said back to me, "I'm so sorry, Dad." And I'll say, "Oh, Bub, I'm so sorry too," like, and we cuddle. And I get frustrated that the row ever happened. Sometimes I say to my wife, we can't take that row back. That's like almost embedded in your life. It's like it's on your hard drive almost. And for me, I think it's a shame, because I want to be remembered for being a loving parent. And my wife sometimes says to me, but you are loving, you are a good dad, you are this. Just because used to are so alike, you've just got to try and avoid these little seeds that obviously end up growing into big oak trees, big arguments. She said you've just got to, not communicate, but not communicate about the things which you know are going to cause you both harm. Yeah, start spending time with the people that you love, doing happy things. Yeah, and try not to get involved in these situations. That's what I try and do now. I try and think, what would the perfect me do? What would a loving dad who cares much about his family do? What is expected of me? And then and try and act that way, because you'll definitely feel better for it. Yeah, your health, you'll definitely feel better for it. You probably noticed, if you're watching this video, that I'm actually doing this one in my van. I usually do my videos indoors, but as George Michael once said, he said, let's go outside. So that's what I'm doing. I thought I'd go outside. I'm doing it from my van in Clacton-on-Sea. I'm actually on the seafront, but it's very misty today, so there ain't really much to see. But please, if you did get anything out of this video, please, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to build my channel. It's all based on personal development. It's all about becoming better. You won't see anything negative on my channel. It's all about making you try and improve. Yeah, I'm not a professional life coach by no means, but it's something I'm very interested in, and all I do in all my videos is try and give my opinion on different subjects, about how I feel about them. Yeah, please subscribe. My channel on YouTube is called Colin Talks. You can also see my videos. My direct link to YouTube is www.colintalks.co.uk, and yeah, that's my obviously channel name. Please like, please subscribe, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. It helps with my YouTube growth, and I'd really appreciate it if you make a comment. Yeah, obviously, if you've got any comments on this video, anything that you think I could have added, I really would appreciate your help. If you've got any questions about me, about my channel, please, like I say, please comment. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.